welcome to Marissa's Kitchen. It is Friday night in my home and I decided that was a good enough reason to make brownies. So I am making a recipe called Teresa's Gooey Brownies from the website A Home with Purpose. And I heard about this recipe from the Facebook group Sarah Montana from My Montana Kitchen. She mentioned these brownies, said that she'd been looking for a low carb brownie for a long time, hadn't found one. Found these and they hit the spot. So when I looked at the recipe, it drew my attention because it uses coffee in it, and so there was just something different about it. I like recipes that have just a little something different because that usually is an indicator that they might, be a winner. So anyway, I made these last week and did a video and realized after I baked them and tried them that I had forgotten a half cup of the Gentle Sweet. So just in the measuring cups I had used, I had totally messed up. So anyway, even though it was missing that half cup of sweetener, my 13-year-old son, Dawson, loved them, and my friend Kelly really liked them, and they grew on me. I must have the sweet tooth. They grew on me throughout the week. If you like dark chocolate, then by all means you could, save that little bit of money and use a little bit less sweetener. So I'm making them tonight with the right amount of sweetener, and I'm putting them, instead of a 9x13 pan, I'm putting them in 2 pans because Sarah Montana mentioned a dessert, or I believe she's the one that came up with a dessert. I'm going to double check that, to make, using that brownie as the base. So I'm going to make that dessert as well and give a review on both those. So anyway, when my son Dawson found out this is what I was making tonight, he's like, "Oh, you're making those brownies." So he was excited. And he's not a huge fan of all the THM desserts. So if that tells you anything, these are really good. But I'm excited to try them with the extra sweetener because I think they will be amazing. And I will give you more of a review in a little bit. I also wanted to add that I'm using a little less of the butter or oil that Teresa calls for in the recipe. Last week when I made it, it did seem a little greasy to me, and it could be because I was missing that extra Gentle Sweet. So this week I'm just using like a tablespoon and a half less than what it calls for. It calls for 2 sticks of butter, and I did just a tad less. So you feel free to try the 2 sticks, and then if you also think it's a little greasy, but I just decided to adjust that this time around. And I always top my brownies with chocolate chips. I used to make and sell brownies in a couple different places that we lived, and that's just something I always do, is put chocolate chips, like a really generous helping of chocolate chips on top. So that was just something I kind of can't make brownies without putting those on top. So that's not necessarily in the recipe, but that's just a little touch that I like to do, and I know a lot of people do that. But one of the pans I did not put chocolate chips on, and that's the one that I'll make the dessert with. But I just wanted to add that as well. Okay, so Dawson and I just had our brownies with a little bit of ice cream. Mine's the Carb Smart. Dawson, what do you think? Yeah? Good. Yep. It's delicious. So you gotta try these, and yeah, you just gotta try these. So it's been a couple days, and I finally got a chance to make that dessert. It took me a little bit, but it is called Best Brownie Delight from mymontanakitchen.com, and this is it. It is, doesn't that look incredible? It is incredible. So the first night I made it, I had been licking spoons in the beater and the bowl. So by the time I had it, I just had a tiny little bit, and I wasn't actually sure about it. So then it sat overnight, and then yesterday my friend Kelly was over, and we had it after lunch, and we both really liked it. So one thing to keep in mind is it does use a can of coconut milk. So if you're not a coconut fan, you probably won't like it because you can taste the coconut. And Kelly said she wasn't expecting that, but hold on one second, Brennan. Shh. So that was a surprise to her. But anyway, but we both also like things like Almond Joys and Mounds, so it has that coconut flavor, but it's really good. It's such a pretty dessert. I think this would be great to take to something. Obviously, it has all those layers, so it is you know, labor intensive, but it's worth it if you were gonna make it for a special occasion, and it has so many of the heavy ingredients that I would save this for special occasions, and because of the work involved. But anyway, Dawson had it, and he also liked it, didn't you, bud? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's really delicious, and I would definitely make this one again. And Kelly took some home to her family last night, and her husband, Larry, really liked it. He said it's the best THM dessert he's had. So Larry doesn't really love the THM desserts at all, so that says a lot. But anyway, Sarah, you did a great job on this recipe if you ever watch this. And I did not get a picture of the brownies by themselves, so I like to put pictures at the end of my videos, and there will be pictures of this lovely dessert, but not of the brownie. But we ate those too fast, and I recommend those. I recommend these. I did try the brownies both at room temperature and cold, and they're just different doing it like that, so I recommend trying it both ways. They are a tiny bit crumbly, but you know, especially in a dessert like this, that doesn't matter. Or if you're having it with Carb Smart ice cream, that doesn't really matter if it's crumbly either. So anyway, I hope you will try these, and I'm thinking I should do a brownie comparison review of all the different brownie recipes I like, but this one is right up there with like probably my top 3. I also wanted to add that I did not use the full amount of sweetener in the whipped cream topping layer. I used 1 tablespoon of what would be Gentle Sweet. I didn't have Gentle Sweet, so I used a different sweetener, and a donk of pure stevia extract powder instead of the 3 to 4 tablespoons of Gentle Sweet. And then, because I've sweetened whipping cream like that before with just the pure stevia extract powder, so I like to try to save money if I can on that. And then the cream cheese layer only called for 3 tablespoons of Gentle Sweet, which didn't seem like enough to me from desserts that I've made, so I tasted it and I felt like it needed more, so I must have a sweet tooth. So I added, I think maybe even a couple extra tablespoons of sweetener. And anyway, I just wanted to mention that, and also give a shout out to Teresa, if she ever watches this as well, that your brownies are delicious. Great job on coming up with a great recipe that could also be used in an amazing dessert. So I will chat with you guys later.